Hello?
Oh,
Hold on, I gotta turn you way up.
yep. Sorry.
Alrighty.
There we go.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello. One second. Yeah, Monkey joined the. You got it? Okay. Oh, okay. Alrighty. How's it going?
Not too bad. How's it going for you?
It's going.
Yeah.
It's definitely going.
Unity's
But I'm making.
I don't know. My first time with Unity was like a few weeks ago for Ludum Dare, and
Oh yeah.
and I I had a very rough time with it. I'm still having a little bit of a rough time, but it's starting to smooth out as I learn what everything sort of is.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Same here. Like this is my first time like ever using it, like ever.
yeah,
So it's definitely a learning curve. Fortunately, I've used other engines like Godot, and like
yeah.
setting up the UI is kind of similar. So I didn't have a problem with that. It's just the scripting part. Like since I don't really do like much code,
Yeah.
it's like yeah, it's a learning process. But like I said, it's going.
Yeah. I just
Yeah,
Godot can do 3D and 2D, right?
yeah, I can. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I've
Yeah, one of the games that I made, the Lima Bean game, I made the entire game on Godot, like from scratch,
right on.
from like nothing. Yeah, so and I like their, I guess, because it doesn't use like it has its own built-in language, kind of like Game Maker and stuff.
Yeah.
So it was pretty easy to pick up. So um, yeah,
Yeah, I
I'm
think
getting used to like the
like
object-oriented.
yeah. I struggle with object oriented stuff. It's just my brain doesn't like it's something my brain has to think
Yeah.
about more than like I don't know something. They say game maker language is closer to JavaScript, but I don't know if that's true.
Oh yeah.
Cause my
Oh,
I,
okay.
cause I did something with that with my friend had asked me to do something for him with JavaScript, and I struggled with that too. It did not seem to directly
Yeah.
translate in any way. But Unity, the main thing
Yeah,
with
for
Unity
sure.
is like it's just got so many features and so much
Yeah.
stuff, and like there's so many little quirks about the program that I don't understand yet.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. It can get like really finicky. Like I've had to restart a few times because like I just didn't want to mess up.
Like for example, I'm sure I messed something up for Dex. Like I like I somehow have
Oh,
a new object in my hierarchy called "Don't Destroy on Load." No idea how it got there. Just it's there now.
Don't worry about that. That's
declared itself.
Um,
That's amazing.
so Dex,
Okay.
what? So you want me to zip the entire project folder into a zip file and then send that? Is that what you said? I'm sorry, I read it for a split second and then I hopped over here.
you can, because if you look at the screenshot of this, that's what's imported when I've actually downloaded it via a normal file.
I'm sorry, your mic's being a little weird. Hold on, let me turn off my music so
Oh,
I can try and understand you better.
Yeah, just
yep.
having a little trouble hearing you.
Yeah, you're cutting in and out. Not like in a. It seems like you're what's the word? Not your like your
Uh,
sensitivity might
Like you're kind of
be
far away.
higher
Yeah.
than it should be. Where it's not like when you're
yep.
talking more quietly, it's not picking up on you.
Okay. How's that?
That's
That
much
sounds much
better.
better.
Alright.
I gotta turn you down. There you go.
So, um, I can see that there are other assets in there, but I can't install them into the one Unity file.
Okay.
And you might have noticed every Unity file's got two separate like things. There's a meta file and the actual asset file, so I just need to figure out
How to get both those two things
what
over there.
parts. Yeah. So even if you can just send the asset file to me.
Sure, hold on. Let me see if I can find that. Join together. So just I'm under my project file folder, and you want just the assets folder within that
Yep.
zipped and sent.
Yep.
Okay, can do. All right, let us. Do that. All right, give me a sec here.
What time is it for you, Dex?
Right now it's 11:50 a.m.
Oh wow,
Yeah. You'll have
total
me getting up
opposite.
way too early.
Yeah, you're up since like 4, right?
Yeah, dang.
Yep.
You've been at it.
Hey, commitment.
Yeah, that is commitment. Like well, yeah, I'll probably be up late too, so
Yep.
just trying to figure things out. But yeah, awesome.
Oh, I've pretty much got most stuff sorted now, so don't be afraid. Ask for help if you need it. I know my way around Unity pretty well. Been using it
Okay.
for like 4 years. So,
Oh, nice.
and I've used other engines like Unreal Engine and all that. So,
Oh
Oh, I
yeah,
heard.
okay.
I heard. Unreal is in version what 5 now or something. I saw something on YouTube about people losing their shit about something awesome that the new version of Unreal does, like
Oh wow.
something about the
that's been in
detail
the
it can
works for
render
like,
in.
it's been in the works for like 5 years.
Right.
It's not enough for
Wow.
me to go back C++. It's just horrible to
Oof.
work with.
I haven't done C++ since I was a computer science major for a year and a half in college. Then I switched my major 3 more times, and then I
Yep.
finished because I had to. But I didn't code for years, and then I was like, I want to learn to make games, and started doing it again.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't coded like in years too. It's just relearning everything. So, oh my
Yep.
gosh. Yeah.
All right, let
Yeah.
me put this
But
in that
I've done
folder.
mainly like front end code and stuff. So like all this, yeah, C plus plus, C sharp. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
It's still like new to me.
Uh, yeah. I do a little back end. We've got like I do have a multiplayer framework that I've like connected to. I've got scripts for all that. Obviously,
Nice.
that won't help in this game jam, but it only takes me 10 minutes to set up multiplayer if we want to do one in the future.
Oh wait, maybe it was acting funny
Oh, that's
because
cool.
not all of the files were uploaded yet. Maybe let's cancel this. This is still going.
Maybe.
Because I put the zipped folder in there. I was like 12 minutes. That can't be right. But the original one that I just sent you is still uploading. But the zipped folder looks like it's just in there and done now. At least it's not saying it's got a green check mark by it. So should be all good, I assume.
That might have been it then. If it wasn't uploaded.
Yeah. Sorry, I have like I guess you're right about Unity files being huge because I have amazing internet. I just upgraded to like the best internet I've ever had. It's crazy. I downloaded Rainbow Six Siege in like fucking 6 minutes the other day. It was great.
Yep.
Oh my God. That's
So,
insane.
Google Drive though. So it'll only let you upload so fast anyway.
Oh, does it throttle the
Wow.
speed? I was gonna say maybe it
Yeah.
seems like that shouldn't be taking that long if a AAA game can. I guess upload and download speed are different, right? I don't know anything about that stuff.
Um, Normally people don't need high uploads, so they don't sell it.
Yeah.
You need to like ask your ISP directly if you want it. Put everything in that folder.
And upload speed if I'm streaming, like if I'm streaming on Twitch, does that have to do with my upload speed at all?
Yeah, it does.
It does. Okay.
I personally, I don't have much upload speed, and I wouldn't be able to stream to Twitch or anything.
I just cause like I had upgraded my internet and all my games wise, you could tell a difference.
Yep.
I didn't get much lag, but then like my stream basically looked the same, so I was like,
Yep.
Oh my God, Mochi, that dog is adorable. By the way.
Yeah, I
I
love
love
that
it.
pink
Thank
dog.
you.
Pink was a good choice. It really pops.
Pink. Oh no, I put another dog in the group.
Yep.
Oh, is there another
Got
one?
that?
Yeah, is that one better than the other one?
Let me see here. I have not seen it yet.
I'm thinking of going for a Samoyed kind of look.
Ooh.
Oh, I do like that dog. I do like
He's
that
so
dog. He's a little more wolf-like or yeah, like a pom
Puppy.
or like a.
Yeah, I see. Oh, that would, yeah, that's cute.
I feel like white would look really good.
That dog
Like
also
a-
looks more athletic. That dog looks like he can jump.
The other one
Hey.
looks like he's a little chunky.
This.
Little chunky.
What do you mean? He can jump.
Whatever he can do, his
He'll
mind
bounce. He'll just like
Look at
bounce
that.
off the
Wow.
ground.
Yeah, he
He's a
bounces.
roller
She's big bones.
He's a puppy.
That's awesome.
So
Okay, yes.
not to distract you if you're trying to pull those assets in or anything, but like level design and obstacle wise, what are you thinking for like what is the player tasked with
Oh,
overcoming to see the end of the game, no matter how
I'm
sad
sure.
or happy it may be.
No, I don't want to kill the dog.
I want to see the owner die.
I'm
Kill
I'm
your dog.
kind of against killing the dog because like statistically, I would say
Yeah.
if 50 people play our game, there's probably a statistically pretty significant chance one of them will have lost a pet in the last month. So
Yeah.
Oh,
Right, the owner it is.
yeah,
We're not killing the pooch.
yeah, the dog lives.
Just- Yeah, just the owner.
nobody has to die.
Someone
Rip.
has to die.
Mm. But then the
Mm,
puppy will be homeless.
How'd you do the water shader? Like, how'd you set it up?
Okay, so it is. Let me look at everything that's in there. So there's another camera besides the main camera, and it's pointed at whatever you want projected onto a what type of game object was this? I can't remember.
Sprite?
I think it's just it is just a sprite. Yes, it is just a sprite, a rectangular sprite, like the base one that you just get. It's
Yeah,
called,
go
it's
on.
named Square, and then the shader projects that whatever the camera's looking at onto that, and then all the shader effects are applied on top of that. So really, it's just a camera and a water sprite and the shader, but I guess the shader is not a game object. I can't remember where that was created.
Yeah, the shader's an asset. But
It's an asset, okay. I had to set up in something in the beginning, the universal render pipeline. I had to like install it from the packages manager.
Yep.
You may already know all that stuff.
I believe this is running on the universal render pipeline.
Yeah, the one that I installed was called. Let's see. I'll double check.
Alexa.
Re-download this. Have a look.
So I'm going to save this asset now. You can see this project file in the description down below, or you can use your own files, it doesn't really matter, obviously. So we're going to create this shader
When it comes to sculpting the visual side of your game,
effect using the universal render pipeline, and that means we can create shaders in the shader graph, which is really handy and really easy to use. So now that we have that set up, we'll dive into creating our shader in a moment, but the first thing we're going to do is make it so that we can capture the reflection that we want to use in our scene. And how we're going to do that is we're going to add another camera into our scene effect in rendering the render pipeline asset here. So that's it, we've got it here. So I can just select the one that we just created, and if I go to quality here, I'm also going
Okay, so yes, there's
It's getting there.
two
I'm
settings.
just gonna download the entire folder now that it's completely uploaded and see what I can.
Okay, I could
should be able
also
to just
zip
move the bulk
that
of
if
it.
you wanted to. If if you don't have great download or upload speeds where you're at, I could also zip the whole thing for you. Are you saying the assets? Or are you saying the assets folder or the whole project?
I'm gonna take the whole project, and because it looks like you've changed some project settings as well.
Yeah, so I was. It's real quick. I think I can. It's just two things. One under graphics. I don't know if this will mess with anything you've done though. Hopefully not.
Render pipeline asset here. You can just select the one that we just created, and if I go to quality here, I'm also going to select in rendering the
Let me
render
slow
pipeline asset
down
here.
the.
So that's it. We've got our project now set up to work with the universal render pipeline, and that means we can create shaders in the shader graph, which is really handy and really easy to use. So now we have that set up. We'll dive into creating our shader in a moment, but our project now set up, and in graphics, we're going to add a render. And once that's done, we can close out of our package manager, and then we need to go
So
into our
download the
assets
universal
folder
render
in our project.
pipeline
Well, doesn't matter
was the
where
first
we put it,
thing.
but we're going to create
Then
rendering universal render pipeline and a pipeline asset.
create
just
the asset for the
default one.
universal render
And then we need to
pipeline.
assign that to our
Then
graphics, so I need to go to edit,
go to project
settings,
settings.
and in graphics, we're going to
In graphics,
add
go
render pipeline asset
to
here.
under scriptable render pipeline settings. Select the asset that you created,
So I can just select the one that we just created, and if I go to
and
quality,
then under quality,
I'm also going to select in rendering the
under
render
rendering,
pipeline asset. here.
also select the render pipeline asset you created. That was all the setup that I did.
Yep.
Sorry if I picked something that's going to be a huge pain in the ass. If you if you want to like steer me towards something that's a little easier to integrate next, like something with scripting or something, I'll gladly take your suggestions.
Yeah. It's not too big of an issue actually. Just importing
Okay.
the render pipeline is well. If you chose the HDRP, it would be, but you didn't, so it's fine.
What happens what would have happened if I chose the HDRP?
That's the one that you use if you want like ray tracing and
Oh,
stuff.
okay. Okay, gotcha.
It's mostly a 3D, like very, very high detail render engine.
Gotcha. Okay.
It doesn't really like 2D. So if you try to play with HDRP, it would delete like my entire scene when I import it.
Oh, jeez. Hopefully that does not happen.
Still zipping the file. Oh, that's what I've got so far. It's this little scene here.
Nice.
Here, let me hop back to.
There's a layer for the player and there's a layer for the person. You can see
Oh, you're streaming.
separate.
Okay. I see. Nice. So is the way it's working is that the human box character moving on its own currently, and you're following along?
Yep.
Okay, yes. Yeah, because when I just where it was when I first
Oh.
turned it on, it looked like you were pulling him along for a second there.
No.
Okay, and if you go too far, then this.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. The screen.
That
turns
works.
white. Wow. Oh, okay.
That's not there.
So that results in a dead.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, you get enough warning, I think. So
Oh,
Yeah, I would say that's.
definitely.
I would say maybe
And
the
then-
first time someone sees it, they're like, "Oh, is it just getting dark?" But then as soon as they stop walking,
Oh, well,
right, they'll start
Yeah.
Sure.
figure it out.
Yeah, it'll become apparent once the line ends. It's not that punishing if you do fail, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also I like the I really like, this is like such a small thing, but I like the rectangles you put at just at a slight angle at the back. That it really
Yeah.
it very
Yeah,
much
yeah.
sells the atmosphere of a
Yeah.
forest right away, even though it's very minimal.
yeah. Now we need
Yeah,
actual
like you can
trees.
tell.
Like,
Mhm.
Well, I'm not a graphics designer by any means, so normally when I make all my games, they are made with bricks and squares.
Yeah, that's how I always start too, and then I go to my artist
Yep.
friends and say, "Draw me something."
Well, my artist friends are incredibly lazy, or they just don't want to help.
My
You can
artist
see.
friends are maybe too ambitious because they'll give me like something like. Usually the thing is like I'll always start with a really small sprite size, like 32 by 32 or something like that, and then they'll give me like these
Yep.
huge ass sprites where I'm like, well, either I'm gonna have to like change a bunch of
See,
my movement variables or something.
in Unity, if you go into where you've imported it,
Hmm.
you'll see in the inspector here you can actually set the max size.
Oh, okay.
So
Nice.
and I've done this on a few sprites because when I've imported them, they've been like 2 to 4K sprites. So
Right.
I've just scaled them down so each one's not taking 10 megabytes of memory.
Oh wow.
But
Ouch.
it's fine. You don't need to change anything. It's a very easy fix.
Okay. Okay,
But,
so I see you can change the.
It
All
doesn't
right.
look like there's any
yeah,
loss of
but,
fidelity either. Like I would never guess that
yeah,
anything here was scaled down.
yeah. If you zoom
If you
in,
zoom in, I guess
you
you'd
do
maybe.
notice, but at the same time, I can go in and but,
I'm always very conflicted about because especially because most platformers I've worked on, I like to be able to see a lot, like to zoom out, but then also you lose that,
yeah,
the
I'm
nice
not building
art.
stuff up here anyway,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
yeah,
Um,
you could, yeah, we could have some clouds or something
yeah, clouds would be nice. Maybe a jump
if you
animation
want
for the
that.
dog.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I think
again,
once you send the different frames of the
currently,
I don't know if she
yeah,
sent the jump one. I know she sent the
no,
idle animation.
I am sort of waiting on the animations to
You
continue, but
got it.
yeah, but if
Um.
that's something you want to do,
Yeah, you
just
should
let me know.
definitely jump.
You can, if you want, you can program the clouds to like generate off screen and
Yeah,
move along.
clouds would
Oh,
be cool.
right on. Wait, are you? Sorry, are we talking to
So,
me or Gabs?
uh, you,
Oh, okay. Hell yeah, I could do some
oh yeah,
clouds. I love doing. I love doing. I've done particle effects. Those are okay. But what I really like doing is making random shit that happens randomly.
should have a look in my development channel later. I've got like randomly generated stuff everywhere.
Yeah, right on. Do you work it into
It's
your
just
design?
fun.
Like, have you made a roguelike or anything like that? Or like anything with a
Um,
procedural dungeon or anything like that? Because I'm actually working on a procedural dungeon that generates from prefab
yep.
rooms that I make in Excel with spreadsheets.
I
Uh,
did a platformer that generates the platforms as it goes up,
nice,
and that was a
Yep.
multiplayer project.
nice.
I do
Yeah,
a
I
lot of
sent
networking
his
as well.
Were those
color
trees randomly generated
panel.
up there? Just out of curiosity.
Yeah, those are randomly generated.
Awesome. I've always wanted to do a randomly generated tree, but never
Ooh.
could figure it out.
Well, there's a few ways, but one's artificial intelligence, and the other would be a lot simpler. You get a angle between like 45 degrees, call
Yeah.
that the offset.
Or
I'm
like the
liking
color.
this new dog.
Yeah, I like the. I'm very much a fan of the new dog.
Yep.
Yes, he's so cute.
Okay.
Yeah, the new dog.
A little polar bear.
Should I? I'll hold
Okay.
off on adding animations for the new dog.
Yeah, because the one I sent you was like a just temp dog to see if the dimensions were fine or if the idle was
Yep.
okay.
Well, still haven't implemented the idle because I need to go in and re-import it as a sprite sheet.
Ah,
I
fair
believe.
enough. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I can
No problem.
do that. You're already drawing everything, so
Oh, no problem. I'm just going
So-
to. Oh, I forgot his little claws, his little toes.
you can see
Go.
the dog before I scaled him down. Just
Oh wow.
size comparison.
He's huge.
My first game jam actually ever, the theme was grow, and of course we made a game where you could grow so big that you broke everything.
Yep.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, a bit lost. I can make like the wireframe levels using cubes like I've done here, but a lot of the actual scripting's pretty much in place for now. When I,
Yeah, as far as the UI, well, like the main menu, I've got like the layout pretty much set up. It's just yeah, the scripting. I've done the scripting on like when you're entering like a new scene, like when you press play basically,
Yep.
and when you're exiting the game. So I'm working on the options one. That one's giving me a bit of trouble though, but I am trying. I've got the code. Like I got the scripting written. I think I just have to create a new scene for it or something. So I'm just gonna figure that. I'm gonna try to figure that out. But
Nice.
for the most,
Oh.
yeah. And then I can share that when I'm done.
what I normally do is you can just put a frame inside of the canvas, and I
Mhm.
set it to invisible so that you just can't see that it's there.
Oh,
And
okay.
I put the different menus inside each frame and set the frames to active or not active, and that hides the
Okay.
entire thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, okay. Oh, I see. Okay.
Oh, also, I should I feel like I should mention this because somebody got real mad at me for this the other day. But just so everyone knows, I am streaming on Twitch, and so you are also streaming on Twitch. Just
Yeah.
throwing
Hello,
that out
Twitch.
there. Yeah, nobody's watching me. It's just literally, sometimes my friends or my brothers will stop in and see what I'm doing, but usually I put it up as a way to
We will
capture
watch.
my coding.
That's-
But
Yeah, we'll all watch it.
Yes.
I'll try to
we'll
cut
watch it. Watch
something.
party.
Something together at the end, but also but then you're going to be hearing your own voices, and it's gonna drive you mad.
True, yeah.
It'll be-
That's gonna be it's gonna be weird.
Yep.
um,
Hey, what's up, gamers?
there is I have one fan on Twitch. I'm pretty
Oh.
sure I'm surprised he's not here right now. His name is Goofy King. He's been usually every time I log on, he's on. I don't know if he speaks English.
Oh.
He just says I'm Goofy King over and over and over again, and asks how I'm doing.
What
Oh,
more
that's
could
really
you want?
nice.
Yeah, he's nice.
Nice.
What's
Hey,
that?
He's
man,
super
we got one
adorable.
fan. It starts with one fan.
It's very true.
That's true. Yeah, I don't super wanna be.
That's which.
Every once in a while I'll play other people's jam entries on my jams, and people will show up for that if I put like a thing on the page being like, hey, playing your games, and then I'll get like maybe between 13 and 20 people or so at a time if I keep going. But
Nice.
instantly, as soon as people start watching me, I'm like, I don't like this.
No. It's
I'll-
scary.
I will be right back though.
I'd have to like pre-record everything and edit it so that it's not
Yeah.
horrible.
Me too. Yeah, I couldn't go
feel
like
that.
live or anything.
Yeah, I think we're live right now, but it doesn't count because we're not the ones streaming it.
We're not. Yeah. Exactly.
That is so chill.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so let's leave that on.
Yeah.
You know what I was thinking?
Mhm.
If we can like press the down arrow, could he sit down?
Yeah, I can make that
Yeah.
if you have a sit animation.
Perfect. I'll make a sit.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah,
Or that'll be good. Yeah.
little sit boy.
I think I'll have like I'll have the water in front of the grass ground texture that's on there right now. And then I'll have another foreground layer in front of the water, so it looks like it's sort of like a river that's going through the forest,
I see. Give
Ooh,
it
we like
rather
some-
that.
than
Yeah.
as otherwise it will just look like the bottom of the screen.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
You get what I mean? It's
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah. Like give it some more depth. Like so it
Be
looks
part
like
of the
it's
map.
like. Yeah. 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 There you go. Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna start working on those clouds, but I'll have my headphones on. If you need if you have any issues with the shader thing, and you need anything from me, just let me know.
You got it. Oh wait, that's not me.
no, that's me. Is it not reflecting?
Let's see.
Maybe. I've just launched the exact thing that you're using.
Huh.
That's not it. Fake player.
Okay, so hold on.
It's 2 cameras. Let's see.
Yeah, what is the camera seeing? Okay, so camera's seeing it. Let me look at what I have in mind and compare that to what's in yours. Alright, so you are looking at the okay, maybe it's the water sprite that's missing. So no, that should come over with the assets, and you have it. I see it there. Okay.
Not that, is it?
It's not that one. No, that's the first one I tried, and it looked bad. So, but I never took it out. That's the one that I used. But it's. I just thought maybe so it should be pulled into the. All right. If you go to your assets and go to. Get this thing out of the way. Here, maybe I'll double stream and I'll put my Unity on.
Yep.
Let's see.
Oh, I see. Okay, so game object. Okay, never mind. I think I figured it out.
I figured it out.
You got it?
I think
You didn't.
so, yeah.
You didn't set the Z index.
Oh. I thought I did because that was the whole big problem I had in the beginning. But yeah, that it was the Z needed to be back a little bit so it could see everything and not be behind, like within or behind anything else.
It's got to be in front, but it was on the same layer as
Yeah. That's okay.
thing. So it wasn't not working. It was just behind the thing, and it was still working.
Gotcha.
Okay, so right, need. So what does reflect camera?
So that's whatever you want to be reflected. Like if you move that around, it will change the, where it starts reflecting. Whatever's in there gets projected onto the other thing. So they kind of have to be the same size-ish.
Yep. I think I can take the sample scene along with just all of this. Put it in a new folder.
Oh, thank God you're so good at this. I was very worried that
Bit of puppy.
we'd all work separately and it'd be tough to put it together. But you definitely seem to know what you're doing. So, right on.
I was fearing getting like a team of like 8-year-olds. That would not have.
I am.
Not
I,
Definitely not
Uh,
8.
yeah, I've had a
I mean,
few
I feel like it
times.
sometimes.
Yeah, I've gone into it and I've like, I haven't ended up even finishing the jam because I'd get in and they're like, right, in the next 2 days we're going to remake GTA.
Ooh,
Yeah,
boy.
no, I think our scope is definitely doable. It is, I should know this, but it is 48 hours for the GMTK jam, right? Not 72?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
48.
Yeah,
so
it's 48.
Yeah. I've never
I
done a
would
48.
like to. I'd like to finish it before the
Yeah.
deadline, like 6-7 hours before, so we can test and
Yes.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Agree.
have
I
a bit
think
of
we can do
cooldown.
Yeah.
Plus, I don't want to stay up till 4 a.m.
Oh
So-
yeah.
Oh,
It-
I sent the new idols. The jump, would you want? Well,
Yep.
I mean, those are drafts of the idol. But the jump, would you want it to be like 1 frame with 2 frames? Could you do like the up down or?
You can do the up down. Hey,
Okay.
can we get like a couple more frames, just up down? But can we get the tail wagging of it?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Same.
And he's jumping. Okay.
A little bit more of the
So I've got the import now. So if I go into here and I set the index. So you changed to setting in graphics.
Yes, that was.
Yep. I've got that one.
Okay, yeah, just.
What else was changed?
Under quality, I think it was. If you go to the project settings. Yep, right there. Yes, right. So yeah, right there. You also have
Yep,
to set
that one.
as the
That one.
that one. Yep.
Okay, and that did do something. The text is no longer an error. There we go.
Nice.
Start it over here.
Right. So then.
Um,
Yeah, if you move the that camera, will it pick up on your stuff? Yes. Okay.
Yep.
Perfect.
Okay. That's a little immersion breaking. Just
Yeah. Yeah.
reflection. Right. So that's don't need that anymore. Right. Okay. Yep. I just set that to the same size and it'll work.
Yes, as long as that and the camera are roughly the same size. You know, I'm not sure if it's gonna do anything funky if we have it be really long or something like that. Like I didn't really test that, and I don't know what that'll do on like the memory and the processing power and sort of the efficiency with which it runs. But
It won't have any issues.
Okay.
It's running purely on the GPU.
Oh, okay. Do
It's
all
just better.
shaders work that way, like by default?
That's why shaders are considered efficient. Generally.
Gotcha. Okay. So
Depends who made them though.
is there a way to oh no, never mind. I saw a video where a guy did for the last time I tried to do a 3D Unity project for my first time in a jam like a month or so ago, and I was like, I want to do something with like a boat on the ocean. That'd be fun. And so I tried to find some sort of tutorial on how to do it. I did find one, but it was like way too high level for me. But the guy in it was saying how he basically made all these, I think they're called meshes, nav meshes or mesh things.
Yep.
And
Those.
like sort of connected them together in a big quilt basically. And he's like, you couldn't do this if you just wrote this code like this. I had to get it to run it on the GPU to like make it not run like crap.
Well, In terms of like raw power, the GPU is way more powerful than a CPU. But
Yeah.
I think what people normally compare it to is like a bunch of tradies and a bunch of scientists. Like, so say you had 12 scientists and 1,000 tradies, you could send the scientists out to work at the construction site and they would be able to get it done. It's scientists. They can get it all easy enough.
Right.
But if you send 1,000 tradies in, you're not going to be able to get them to do a science experiment. As the math's too complicated. So
Yeah.
the GPU's got a lot more resources to work with, but it's a lot dumber. So it's that sort of thing. It can do a lot of math really fast, but it can't do complex math at all.
Gotcha. Okay.
And that's why people use shaders rather than scripts to get it all working.
And particle effects, do they work by the same like principle? They run
No.
on a GPU? No?
They do not.
Oh, okay.
No.
What?
You can cook your computer pretty fast with particles.
I wonder, like, I just looking at them as a total, you know, as someone with no expertise in how that stuff actually works, I think, you know, they're doing a kind of similar thing. So, like, what is it about shaders that makes it so much more intensive on the processor?
Because the processor is doing most of the work and not the GPU.
No, but like, I mean, why isn't it that way also with Why is it that way with shaders but not with particles? Like, to me, it looks they both look like a something that would take a lot of processing power, but apparently not for the particles.
Well, particles, they have to create them in a 3D space. They create them at runtime, and they have to simulate things like physics for them. And GPU just can't do that. So that's why it's so inefficient.
Okay.
You can't. Have
Okay,
more than,
I
like,
misunderstood your
10,000
analogy. Actually,
particles.
I understand what you're saying now.
Yep. And I'm by far not an expert. I'm 18, but I finished school last year.
Nice. I wish I was doing this kind of stuff when I was 18. When I was 18, I was into music. So I didn't do any coding or anything like that.
Yeah, I was doing like math. That's it. Nothing programming.
Oh,
I was
that's a
doing
good
math at
Yeah,
home.
that's not a bad way to. Better than.
It's not, but like I was really going nowhere with it, I guess. Like after like I think calculus 2, I just kind of gave up, and I'm like, I don't know what to do in my life anymore. So like yeah, programming coding was the next step, I guess, because basically yeah, they were like, oh yeah, you can transfer, you know, that problem solving mindset to like programming and stuff. And I mean, it didn't really go well for me, but I mean, now I guess I'm playing catch up in a sense. Like 13 years later.
That's I had a similar, like, I didn't take, I was in like the lowest level math in high school, and then when I wanted to switch over to computer science, they were like, you have to take it, up to Calc, I think it was Calc 2, and I did not do, I've never had a brain for math. I got a C, which was the lowest grade I could get for my major in Calc 1. And then Calc 2, I got a D my first time, so I had to retake it. And then I dropped out before I finished retaking it. And then I went back later. There's also, if you want to mess with like there's a bunch of variables on that shader asset. If you want to mess with any of the how.
Yep. I've
Okay, you
got
said,
the refraction
you said,
and
yeah.
But I'm just wondering, anti-aliasing. You probably can't see it on my stream. But
Yeah, it's
Oh, that's cool.
it's not supporting it.
Oh,
We can keep it, but we may need to
I
revisit
see.
it. I don't know.
So wait, what's the okay?
So you'll see the difference in quality between the top and the water.
Ah,
Oh.
okay.
Oh, I see it. Yeah.
I mean, that's still pretty good that you managed
Yeah,
to
that
get
is
that
really
working.
good.
And
Yeah. Like I can't even do that. That's amazing.
I just
we
followed
may
a
be able to.
tutorial.
We can iron that out as well. When we have the actual art assets in, we might be able to
Yeah.
reduce an LOD or something. Or
Okay.
if I play around with this large camera, I can probably make something happen.
You could even, there may even be a way to distort it so much, you know, like just with the playing around with the numbers and the shader that you don't even, you know, notice it. Although maybe, I'm not sure.
Oh, just the distortion. It,
Whoa.
yeah, it's not quite.
Yeah, actually, that just looks bonkers and like a, I don't know.
It's a feature.
Yeah,
Not a
yeah,
bug.
yeah,
Not a bug.
yeah.
That's fine for now. Leave
Yeah.
it there.
I'm
Even-
surprised you even got it in that fast. I was expecting it to be a much huger headache.
It's just a couple of assets. Drag them in.
So, is there anything different I should do as I start working on these clouds? Like, should I like to make it easier to integrate it into yours? Like, or do you want me to just do the same thing I did last time and just send you the assets and everything?
Or if you can make it modular, that like, so what I'd do is I'd have an array of global game objects, right?
Mhm.
So you like drag and drop the sprite prefabs on,
Okay.
and then I do everything else from inside the script, pretty much.
Okay. Okay. I will try
And
to do
what
that.
that means is instead of, I mean, you can try. If it's too hard, don't worry about it. But what that means is you can just send the script pretty much through Discord.
Yeah,
It'll
yeah,
be so
yeah.
small,
I
and then I can plug in the same cloud sprites without needing to download a whole project.
Okay. So the sprite, so basically just prefab sprite with a script on it. The script does everything else. I'll try my very best to figure out that out so it's nice and easy. Does it have to actually literally be a prefab? Because I know there's like a difference between like prefab assets and the assets in the
Prefabs,
scene.
if it's in the project folder, like that menu,
Mhm.
it's a prefab.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Say all
Alrighty.
scripts are prefabs, but and yeah, sprites are created the same way. You just drag them into the project file.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Bring that back in like that.
So I'm not sure
And like that, you
what's going on with the shader, because you can see it does the grass fine.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if that was just because of the stream quality on Discord or like or what that was. Maybe. I mean, it may be that once everything is sufficiently, you know, all the sprites are in and everything, and it's not a bunch of very angular rectangles,
Yep.
that it just, you know, looks fine.
Yeah, might
But
not
you
even
know,
be
don't
noticeable.
kill yourself trying to get it to look perfect now. Like you know, we'll figure that out. I think in the polish phase, right?
Yep. Hey, we still got a whole nother day. We've come this far.
Yeah. So you're saying hopefully your aim is to start with like level design tomorrow, which I think is awesome. Yeah, we want to be as ahead of the curve as possible.
Yeah.
The I said this before. I'm sorry if you answered this already, but
Good.
Obstacle wise for the player, is it you know, is it just jumping over pits and stuff like that, or Are you picturing anything other than that as an obstacle for the player, or do there even need to be obstacles? Or are we just trying to tell a story, like where this?
I reckon mostly the story,
Yeah.
but there will be like slightly a couple of difficult obstacles. Like
Okay.
you might need to get over it, or simple stuff.
Yeah.
You're basically on a walk with your owner, so
Okay. Yeah. I'm down for that.
you're not getting lost on the way. This will look very different once I have animations in it. Right now, my cat,
Isn't it?
it's just sort of
I don't know about
sliding
you, but
on
like
the floor.
getting whenever my artist friends give me a bunch of new art, it always like really makes me, it gives me energy. I'm like, yeah, I want to see what this looks like.
Yeah.
All right.
You got it, my friend. I'm almost done with the. I'll show you what these look like, and then I'll color them, and then I'll give them to you.
Yep.
Okay. Oop, the
All right,
iris. Mouse
clouds.
back. Here
Time for clouds.
we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Let's see how this works. Hopefully.
I forgot in the idle animation, I didn't let him blink. He was just kind of
What we
staring.
want to do, we want to use that endpoint now to stop the.
He should be blinking.
So do that now. Speed up this.
There we go.
Right.
He has life. And then I erase this face, so we don't need that. Oh, but that's
So
Hey, welcome back to Input
you're
Control.
iterating over the water texture when you're like
Hmm?
water shader.
Yeah.
So you iterate over the water texture, which appears to be a normal map of some kind.
Over the water texture.
Yep.
Yeah, it's that.
And you're using a sine wave.
I'm using a sine wave because for whatever reason when I had it set to time, or I tried time, I tried delta time, I tried delta time smooth, and for whatever reason with all of those, like the shading effect just sort of like slowly scrolls down and then disappears forever.
Yep.
I'm not sure why that is, because in the tutorial I did everything the same as in the tutorial, and his texture just sort of loops and repeats.
Yep.
Not sure. Yeah, wasn't sure how to fix that.
Take a peek. See what's. I don't like shaders.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in there. But so if you go all the way over to the left side of it, that's where the the
This.
the time and the water speed variable, yeah, get multiplied together. That feeds into. Oh, let me look it on mine so I can actually read it.
Well, I can see why. Well, you know what a sine wave looks like,
Yes, I do.
but that's why the animation keeps like
Going
stop
back and forth. Yeah,
because it hits the top and bottom of the sine wave.
right. Yeah, I knew it would look like that. It's just it was just my sort of lazy workaround to not being able to fix it. So yeah, once you put that in there, so it seems to like really zoom in on the texture, although it looks fine when it runs.
Yep.
But then it just so sort of slowly goes off of the makes its way off of the sprite to where it's. Or it does not even do it at all, it seems like in this case. I can't tell, maybe it's doing it and I'm just not. Oh no, I see. It's doing, oh no, that's just the aliasing.
No. See. That doesn't seem to be causing any issues. What do you think of that?
I can't super tell from the stream. Is it working very subtly right now? Like
Yeah, it's not. No issues right now.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay, so.
Hey.
But is
It's
the
working. I don't want to.
yeah. I mean, if it's working, it's working. Don't need to
Yeah,
mess
don't
with
touch it.
it.
Give me my break.
Yeah. Especially, it's like my Every
I
time
really
learn
don't know
an
much
engine.
about shaders. I know how they work, but I'm not learning how to make them.
It doesn't actually seem that bad. I just
Yeah.
I just
Yeah, it's
to get them to work, I would just have to plug numbers in and fiddle with them for long enough until I understood what everything was really doing, because I don't immediately understand what's actually going on, but I understand
Yep.
conceptually what's going on.
if I sat down for long enough, I could figure it out. But I just don't want to.
Were the dogs okay? The
Huh?
the idol dogs.
So got a dog.
The idols.
So that'll be good.
Perfect. Okay, I'll do the jump now. Well, let me color the
yeah.
dog and then I'll send it in PNG.
Yep.
Okay.
Have you got all of them drawn at the same time?
Wait, what?
Can you export them as a sprite sheet, or do you want me to do that once I've got them?
Oh, where's the spreadsheet? It's in the other Discord, right?
Spreadsheet. What? If you, I don't know, normally in some of the editors it's an option. You can just export as a sprite sheet.
Oh yeah, Mochi. On Procreate, I think I think he's saying like to put the different frames on the same canvas and export it as a sprite sheet.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, yes.
Yeah.
We can do that.
Because that's how you actually do 2D animation in Unity. You have to like build a sprite sheet. So
Ah, okay. Do you want them like next to each other or like 4x4, 2x2?
I need like any small gap between them, just so that
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. All right.
I'll import it and I'll get the animations working.
Player health associated with that. Good, we can see that we have our
and then I also transform forest. So that's grass. You run me some grass into the sea. Field there. And then maybe one more for rocks. Go select the rocks. And throw in some rock. They're just like quick and dirty. Quick and dirty terrain. Right? Well, I got something. Okay. Just put a little soil mix in there. You see the tiling happening. Not too much. Yeah, I just something. Alright, so now I have a terrain. And
Did we lose
So you'll
match,
notice a
Mari?
couple of things here. These
I am not sure. Maybe they didn't see the.
It says they're offline, but I haven't got them added. It's, like, they were making the ground tiles, so
Let's see here.
yeah, maybe like trees and like basic things you might find in a forest.
Oh, okay.
Sort out the trying to figure out the jumping. Doesn't feel quite right.
Is it so? A lot of times, I'm not sure, how in depth, you want to get, but like, usually to get my jumping feel right, I'll do. So I'll always have horizontal speed variable, vertical speed variable, and then for the jump, usually my variables are your jump strength, basically, then the gravity, then like an amount of air friction that gives you a certain amount of control, and then I usually also do one called hang time, where when you're at the apex of your jump, the bigger the number I put in there, the longer it makes you sort of float there for a second.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, there's like, I don't know, something like de-acceleration or something. Like, I'm not exactly sure, but
Yeah,
that
that's
can, like,
just
make the
gravity.
jumping-
Yep.
Yeah. Make it look more smooth, but okay.
This is smooth, but I don't know. We'll see what it looks like when there's an animation in place.
I think
Yeah, that's
the
probably
the
it.
thing
At
that
the moment, it just-
stands out to me
yeah.
about the jump, like, and yeah, an animation might fix it and make it look totally fine. It really depends on a lot of things, but like the immediate thing I think when I see you just jumping in place is that you should build speed on your way down slightly faster, and maybe the max speed when you hit the ground should be a little faster.
Yep. Also, maybe some form of visual when you actually hit the ground. Again.
Yeah, a little. I mean, maybe we could even
Like a
repurpose
bit of
the cloud
impact.
thing for this and just make like a little bit of dust fly up, right?
I can create a dust particle.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh shit,
I
Goofy King's here. What up,
Should
Goofy
I
King?
bounce the... I can do like the thing where you like squish the sprite a little bit for a second.
Oh yeah, I love squash and stretch. It always makes any jump feel a million times
That's
better,
cool.
even if you change nothing.
Yep. So I'll do that as well. And
You would like if your like bread and butter is procedural generation. Actually, I lied. My bread and butter is squash and stretch. I put it on anything I can, and I also use lerp like on everything I can.
Yeah. Almighty Lord.
Lerp is
I was using
amazing.
lerp on the camera before, but the issue is if you run in a straight line too long, the camera falls behind.
Ah.
Oh,
So lerp, good for everything but camera.
your camera. Yeah. Okay.
I had lerp on a camera once, but it was a Legend of Zelda style. When you go like Legend of Zelda 1 style, go into the next room and it like suddenly zooms up, kind of thing.
Yep. Not. Oh, it's been the whole game jam. Just one person. Your job is to do camera.
Yeah. I wish I was good enough to be the camera guy, but cameras are actually one of the things I have not too hard a time with in Unity, because the new version of GameMaker basically uses a similar thing, except
You actually get Cinemachine. Cinemachine? in
yeah,
Unity, and that is amazing. You can pretty much just tie in events, and they've got every type of camera pre-programmed ready to go.
that's awesome.
Yeah, like even like the third-person ones, like this orbit ones, and it has built-in collisions and stuff to move the camera out of the way
Yeah.
if you try to put it in front of something.
Yeah, I think the one third-person Unity project I did, it wasn't for a jam, just to screw around in. I think that's what I used. That's not an asset, a plugin, or I forget, right? But it whatever the camera was I used, yes, it would do that. Like if it collided with a wall, you had the option to have it either do whatever you wanted, right? You could pull out and rotate around. It could zoom in to the edge of the thing it was colliding with, which would create some like Mario 64 ass shit happening all over the place, but
Yep.
as
I
a
do
sponge.
appreciate having a good
So what
camera
we're gonna do
editor,
is use that
so I don't have to do it as much.
so do that now. Then
Okay, so a little bit of a problem.
start.
3 of
Yep.
them fit,
If you're optimizing,
but that last one doesn't want to fit on the same camera.
I can do it if you want.
Nice. Okay.
Yes, I would just plug them each image individually into Physical. You have that up, and you can export as a sprite sheet, and it builds them
ship it. We have
on
a
their own.
complete game.
It doesn't need to be even or anything. The sprite sheet can be rectangular, 2 by 3, and have an extra one at the end.
Oh, okay then. I'll just put them on a different canvas.
Like, as long as there's a math rule that I can specify, like each sprite takes up 500 pixels or something.
I guess like you're gonna like slice
Like
them
they-
or something.
Yeah, because it'll just slice every 500 pixels and make each one part of the sprite animation.
Okay.
Do we want a fence in the map? But we were going for like dark, dreary forest, weren't we?
That's what we're going for, right?
Yep.
Okay.
I think so. I think that's what we all said.
Yeah. Okay.
Ooh, I like that fence. That looks real. Nice. Ooh, I like that fence. That looks nice. Honestly, like I don't even. It just looks nice, like perfect, almost like that. Like I don't even think you need to like have a sprite over it or anything.
Just think it might need a sprite to get in.
It would definitely help. But I'm saying if there's one thing in this scene that's made out of rectangles that could stand on its own, it's that fence. That scans.
Yeah. I'm just. It's a lot faster than actually drawing it to prototype.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't exactly take very long to.
Oh, there's Matcha.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh.
Sorry, missing out.
Hello, friend.
We have fence.
Let's
Nice.
see.
I'm just testing light.
Just a little bit of white. And the
Correct,
ears.
multiplier.
Something
There was an
Okay.
option at some point that I had forwent to allow the shader to interact with the lighting system because I wasn't sure how that would work, so I didn't check it. But
Okay.
yeah. Like I'm not sure what it'll reflect.
I'm not sure what this will do when I get it working.
bad. I'm just putting them on the other. Oh yeah, I was doing your leash, but then I started doing the dog.
Oh yeah, that's fine. I'm
Yep.
figuring out. I'm actually redesigning the options menu. So.
Oh,
Not quite. So we've got a
Oh,
few more things
right.
to do.
The,
So the first thing we'll do
the
now,
leash-
that kind of work.
Weren't we making
Okay,
it
let's
more
get
of
to it.
like
Now, you
a
can see in this sample scene here, I've got 4 different
not a
cloud
physical
prefabs
attachment, like
that's
an
running
emotional
across the
one?
screen here. So what I want to do is I want to
Love that. Love the foreground tree idea.
I haven't got anything else I can think of.
Put some blur. Like once that gets a sprite on it, maybe put some blur on the foreground trees if that's an easy thing to do. In the polish phase, of course.
Figure out something. See, how do I get parallax working on?
Ooh.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Have some foreground elements.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be like trees or rocks. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's
It's just breaking up the water and that.
Yeah.
You know what game uses that stuff really well? Ori and the Blind Forest.
Ooh yes.
Ooh,
That
yes,
game
that's
is
a good
beautiful.
demo. Very pretty.
It is.
Yeah, I'm actually working on some trees for the foreground, kind of like what you're saying.
Nice.
Ooh.
Yeah, so
Oh.
I'll have that stuff to show for that really soon. But yeah, stuff in the foreground, background, get the parallax to work.
Yep.
That'd be really cool.
It'll make a big difference when we've got.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We'll go from bricks to having a ton of sprites everywhere. So there's a slight bug I've got right now. But
In that you can walk
you can
backwards.
walk backwards.
Yeah.
So if you're pressing like the forward key and you press left and then let go of left, you keep walking, but you don't swap back.
Just reverse. Just don't fix it and reverse his animation so it looks like he's slowly walking away from you.
Yeah, I'll slow him down a bit.
The moonwalk.
Yeah. He's moonwalking away. And
Yep.
there's a third special ending where after you walk into the cave and your owner gets crushed to death by boulders, if you moonwalk out of the scene, you get a special third ending.
Yep. I'll be happy to get one ending in
Me too.
Yeah.
So we can continue indefinitely with platforming. Gotta
Man, talking about
find a
DLC.
good place to wrap it up. Yep, paid DLC.
Yes.
Okay, I'm sending the PNG.
Yep.
With the 4 of them. Where do I send them? I'm just gonna send it in the book. Wait, where am I? There we go. Post. I don't know if they're too small. You can let me know.
Let's see.
Good for puppies.
There you go. Okay. This one always had me confused when I started with Unity. It's getting the sprite sheet to actually work.
Yeah, I would say that. Have you ever tried rigging a 2D character? Because you can do that, right? You can.
Yeah, I've done that before.
I did it. That was like the first thing I basically taught myself in Unity was how to rig, because my buddy was like, I want to learn to use Blender. I was like, all right, make me a guy, I'll rig him. And it was challenging. But I eventually got it to work in the wrong way. Like, I know you're supposed to like do this sort of like animation tree, somewhat similar to, it looks somewhat similar to how the shaders look with like a bunch of boxes and lines, and then the animations
I'll
like
be
naturally
using that for this, so
nice. But I didn't. I learned to do it that way once, but then when I made the actual game, I just like made 3 separate models that were always animating and just turned on and off based on what you were doing. It was very dumb.
Yep. I think that's how I did my first game. Is I couldn't figure out the sprite sheet, so I just 3 separate animations.
Yeah.
I figured it out soon after, luckily.
Yeah, I would have done it the right way, except it was during a game jam that I almost finished, but it did not. But it's Ludum Dare, so it doesn't matter. They don't lock your submissions afterwards. If you want, you can go back and work on them. It's just considered generally like faux pas to do that to your first version. You should post like a post-jam version that people can, judge, play if they want to play, but it shouldn't be the one that you're being judged on.
Yep. Yeah, that might be a slight issue.
Are all the sprites different sizes? Is that what's going on there?
Every second one is.
Every second one, I gotcha.
I can fix it.
Yeah. Okay, let me see what.
So. The exposition keeps changing on them. So.
Oh, it's because.
What is it?
My Procreate wants to line it up like in the center of the canvas, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, I'll just line them up with a grid. Let's do that.
Okay.
I can see.
This is limited in what I can do. I have to type in all the coordinates.
I got you, my friend.
Alright.
Okay.
Yes, I'll go to work. Oh my god.
I was wondering why everything's pixelated. I had my game view zoomed in halfway. Is there anything else we want? Like, if we're telling a bit of a story, do we need text or something going along the screen as we
I
go?
was wondering, does your owner talk to you maybe as you're on this walk? Should there be dialogue? I mean,
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Writes, yes, little bits of story here and there.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit.
Like text bubbles, or here in the bottom where we've just got the water and stuff, we can put some subtitles. Got a few sounds in here.
Wow. Oh, okay.
ooh, there's a whistle.
I think you'll hear it if I can't even play it normally. I gotta like.
Unless your source for your are you streaming your screen or your
Unity's a bit weird when you stream it, but I'll give it a go.
it didn't even come up as an option for me, like when I tried to stream it before.
Alright.
But if we should at least be able to hear the sound if it's.
It'll be a bit weird how I do this, but so I go into here. Can you hear that?
I hear the music.
Alright, that's the first steps of it. And then I go in here, I turn the music off, and then I drag the whistle in.
Okay.
And
nice.
Hear it.
I don't mind, I've got some settings here I didn't realise. They changed some stuff since the...
That's the other thing. I'm very much a watch tutorials kind of person, and even that video I watched, which was just from last year, like there's a bunch of stuff on the tutorial that just does not exist, at least not where it did in mine.
They changed some stuff with versions, but just try to stay on top of it as much as I can. But it's
They're clearly Unity like pretty responsive to its user base. It feels like.
it's pretty good.
Although I actually heard like maybe it was Godot. I think it was Godot. I was watching like comparing engines thing, and it wasn't Unity or Game Maker. So it might have been Godot, where they were like, yeah, it's smaller than like Unity and it has less features, but like the developers are like very, very on top of like listening to feedback from there. Like you have a lot more of a voice because you're a member of a smaller audience.
Yeah, it's definitely smaller for sure than Unity. But yeah, there is less features, I would say. I mean, it does a lot for what it is for sure, and they're constantly adding things, and very good community. I mean, it's free, it's open source, so it's pretty good, I would say. It's like.
Oh shit! I didn't know it was free. Maybe I'll give it
a. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's free.
Of the engines I want to try out one day, I think Godot, and I want to do something on Pico 8 one day.
Pico 8, okay. Okay.
Do you have the dimensions for these?
For the dogs? For Mochi?
I have to split them into sprites.
Oh, I see.
Using this, unfortunately.
Me.
So if I do that, it does work, but they're all different.
Let's see if I mean, I have dimensions of the canvas.
I think I got it.
Okay.
It is not very often that I actually work with this.
Mochi, can you send me the... Oh wait, you send the... It's already in the chat, right?
What did it?
The sprites for the new dog, right?
Yeah. I'm doing the loop thing right now.
Okay.
Just going to standardize all of the sizes so that it's... I can plug in any sprite, any size. And that'll make it so that all the other animations aren't going to take anywhere near as long.
That's nice
to get set up.
So it looks like how the making your sprite sheet thing goes is, as long as all the sprites are on the same sheet, you basically like draw a box around them to define the area. It doesn't have to be like a perfect grid of sprite like.
Yep.
Nice.
No.
That is very cool.
The main reason for sprite sheets existing was older computers didn't have as much memory, so it's the only way to get it done.
Gotcha.
So this is a bit big, so I might shrink that down so that it's not twice as big as the current dog. Once I hit the end of it, I should run the animation in reverse so that it's looped.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, maybe it's-
So like that.
oh, I don't. Wait, are you streaming? Oh, I don't see it. Weird.
Is it not working properly?
Not on my end.
Hold on. I'll restart. That's why I don't stream Unity. I stream the whole screen.
Oh,
Yeah. It was just that's.
You can
Nice.
watch the inspector for the next
Yeah,
hour.
yeah. I thought that's what was going on. I was like, man, he's really watching these inspector numbers just roll and roll.
Yeah.
I think that looks good.
I'll go into game
oh,
view.
here we go. Let me see now. What?
That's
I-
pretty cool.
I can play a bit with the speed, but not too much.
Okay.
So
Yes.
need to move the hitbox slightly. It changed a bit when I. Made the jump a bit harder as well.
A nice touch might be using the. So that's the. How many animations do we have for the dog so far? It's the
There's 4
idle.
frames and it's just idle.
Just idle. Okay.
That's alright though. One person's working on the environment, one's working on the
No, it looks great.
NPC characters, so yeah.
What I was gonna say is maybe, and feel free to reject this or whatever. But the way the dog sort of like wags its tail there makes the dog look very happy. And I was thinking, what if that animation either only plays when you're near the owner and idle, or like maybe slows down as you get further away from him. Just a thought. I like the idea that that there's a different animation when you're near your owner to convey like their bond and
Yep.
that they like each other.
Yeah. I'll have to have a look because the animation controller has changed slightly. But I mean, it's doable. I just need to figure out how to do it. There's a
No,
few
it's not
small
like a critical
details.
thing, but if it's not too much trouble, I think that would be neat.
We can come back to that. Keep it as an idea, but
Yeah.
no solution immediately comes to mind. So
Yeah.
you're working on
If your patrons will-
clouds. I might do. I'll bind in a couple of the audio, maybe.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Not all of them, but there's a lot to bind in straight away. But
I might.
Alright.
I may deafen for a second here, just because I keep starting to work on the clouds and then watching what you're doing, because I feel like I'm picking up a little bit from watching you move your way around the editor. But if you need me for any reason, just
I'll
send me a
ping you.
message. Yeah.
Yep.
So like this isn't crazy critical for what I'm doing, but just maybe there's a super easy answer to it. So I'm trying to do this cloud thing. I pulled in a PNG of a cloud. The transparency seems fine on my ooh, that looks cool. On my when I open it up in a photo editor or whatever, but then in Unity it's keeping the transparent background visible. And is there an easy way to turn that off?
Transparent cloud.
No, like the cloud, actual cloud should be
Around
visible,
cloud.
but like with the PNG has like a visible and non-visible area. and the non-visible area is showing up, you know, as visible.
Have you set it as a sprite?
So yeah, it's so I pulled it in. I don't think I noticed this before, but it looks like it pulls in it both as a texture and as a sprite, right?
Yep.
So then I pulled the actual image in. Then I made what did I make? I created a 2D object. I went to sprites and I did circle, and then I tried to pull the. Wait, maybe I pulled the texture on and not the. Is that even possible?
In the import settings, if you click on the the thing in the project window, and you go into what type it is, it'll have texture type, and it should say sprite, 2D, and UI.
Sprite 2D and UI. Okay. So yeah, it says sprite 2D and UI. There's a bunch of other options here, but that's the one that's checked by default. It's not. It doesn't really matter for getting the actual script working. It'll just look like a big ugly box until I figure out how to. I also thought about maybe like
people probably draw clouds too. So.
Yeah, exactly. Someone's gonna replace this anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Yep.
I did also think about though I wonder if it would work this way, right? What if instead of doing it, what if I used a 3D object, a 3D sphere, and then had that move left to right like a cloud would, but then also manipulated the Z very slightly, so in 2D it would look like the cloud was sort of shrinking and growing a little bit. But
you have so you have the clouds as prefabs, instantiate them in, so like create new ones in the world, and have them scroll right, and when they're like X distance off the map, destroy them.
Yeah.
So that they can actually scroll across the screen, even if you're not moving.
Right. That I
so
can do.
You'd want to generate them to the right and have them move left.
Yeah, I think I can manage that. What I was saying though was like if I was just curious, and I'm probably not actually going to do it this way, but like if you used a 2D object or 3D object in Unity 3D, like you'd see it as two-dimensional. So if I had if I did the moving left to right thing, but also instead of having it be a sprite, had it just be a sphere that was also, while moving left and right, slowly manipulating its Z, so that it would from the player's angle, right, it would appear not as a sphere but as a circle that was growing smaller and larger. And I thought if I overlapped a bunch of those together, it would basically look like a cloud. And then also, I'm not sure like with the layering stuff in Unity if like the clouds would be drawn over top of the trees because it's a 3D object and would be intersecting with all that stuff, and we'd have to do it like diorama style more so.
Yep.
All right. Back to the.
It's probably a sprite cloud. It just simplifies things a lot more.
And if you're a patron supporter, like these guys up here, thank you, by the way.
Everyone
you guys
else
are really cool. Thanks for supporting this channel.
Gone?
If you're a patron supporter, you will get a link to
stopped for the day or what?
It's about midnight here, so they may have
fair enough.
Called it.
I'll probably be up till 1, 2, and then I'll see. Probably when I wake up tomorrow.
Cloud script.
You will be sleeping by that point.
And we'll just pop this script.
So if there's anything,
so the first thing we'll want to do.
If there's anything you want me to work on in that time,
private float.
The great thing about having the IntelliSense is you don't need to remember all the syntax.
Yeah.
If you forget
Yeah,
something,
that is
you
nice.
just scroll through.
Yeah.
Like, it's been a while since I had audio in my game. How do I do this again?
I actually never did the. So I did only one sound in my only Unity project, but I think it's you just pull it in as an audio source, and then mine was something that it was just music, so it just played the whole time. So I don't really remember. I don't really know how to do it as a a trigger. I'm sure I can figure it out, but I'm sure you'll figure it out faster than I will. God damn it! Literally, it must literally be to like. Oh no, it's 12:53. Okay.
Oh, that's not a pleasant sound.
Is it? I can't hear it. Is it doing the thing where it just plays on repeatedly until it becomes a monster noise?
Sort of, yeah. Stream settings, change windows.
Come listen to this terrible noise. All right, let's hear it. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Not the worst I've ever heard though. It's so tinny that it doesn't really blow out your ears.
Yeah.
But it is a very obnoxious noise.
Yeah. I think that's what I wanted. I didn't add any check to if it is jumping. So because it sets it back to false, and I'm like, oh, that's where it does this. Without any further proofreading, I just added some code. That's still loud, but it's like 23. Still seems like a weird sound to play on landing. But...
Yeah, I feel like it should be maybe more of like a thumping noise on the landing.
It's not letting me do the thing.
Have you ever used have you ever heard of BFXR? Oh, that's an adorable noise. There's like a free program out there called BFXR. It sounds very like retro gamey, but you can get some pretty decent jump and landing noises out of it. More so the jumping than the landing though.
I need a separate sound out of this. It's a bit. That'll drive you nuts after a bit.
My last game that I made was about my last Game Maker game that I made was about the theme was stuck in a loop, so I made a game about a frog driving a broken car, and the car hopped up and down like with this hydraulic noise, and like everybody was like, "You gotta fucking turn that hydraulic sound down." It's like so loud. I do not understand why Visual Studio is not.
Are you get?
My license is
IntelliSense?
expired. I'm not even able to get into Visual Studio right now. I've been trying for the last like 20 minutes to figure out what. Like, it's saying my 30-day trial expired, but I thought I had the free version. But I did literally recently get a new computer, so I can't remember if I did this on my old one or my new one, if I installed the community version. But the community version is supposed to be free, right?
Oh, you still have the license. I had to renew my Unity license, even though it's a free thing.
Oh, if you renew your Unity license, it will automatically update the Visual Studio license with it.
No, they're separate companies.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Okay, so yeah, I'm not sure why this is saying this because I thought VS Community was like the free version. I didn't know I had to have a license for it. I'm just trying to
Simple as
sign into my Microsoft account, which I don't have because it's my girlfriend's account.
instead of size, I've set the position of it to be a few thousand off where it should be.
Was that on the Z?
No, that's when I'm slicing the animations.
Oh, okay, okay. It's like the yeah, okay, the like origin point of it.
Yep. Because the falling and jumping sprites are just sprites, not animations. Had to put in different logic for them.
Oh, right. They're just a single frame. What the fuck is happening now? Now they're not even getting destroyed at all. Okay. Closer, though. I'm closer. At least nothing's getting destroyed from my array of cloud types that should never ever change for any reason. Let's take this out of there. That might be it. Yes. Alright. It's working. I gotta go to bed though.
Yes. We can continue on this tomorrow.
Yeah, indeed.
Probably today for you, but
This is the furthest I've ever been on the first night of a game jam. Usually I have 72 hours because usually I do Ludum Dare and I do the jam version. Even if I'm only one person, I'll still do the team jam version. But like usually my first night is comprised of trying to find a really, really, really good idea for a while, giving up and going with like the first or second idea I had, and then like having 4 beers and falling asleep and waking up late the next day.
I was surprised that everyone went with my idea. Like, just woke up.
Honestly, like
how about this? Let me go back to bed.
It's good you said something. Everyone was being a little bit like tepid about but there were ideas thrown out, but like and honestly, I think that it is better to just like go with your first good idea, because you're gonna have like a bunch of good ideas, and it's really more about like the how than the what. So like just pick the first good one you have and go with it, and like use the extra time to put in the extra polish or whatever is probably the right way to do it. But normally I sit there and agonize about like what's like a fucking, I want to make the fucking next Baba Is You in this competition. Like what is the perfect mechanic?
This is the first time I've had a competent team, so I'll take that as a win. I don't care what we get.
So you said you did one before where you got matched with like a bunch of little kids that wanted to make like the next GTA or something.
Yeah. I didn't even bother. I just left.
What if they actually made the next GTA? What if they were fucking geniuses and they just?
I was the only programmer on the team. They're not making GTA.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, okay. So now I understand why they said, "Let's make the next GTA."
Oh, yeah, screw that.
It is. I'm so like my brother, who was not a coder, decided he was a bio major. Decided to go back to school for coding around this time he started like working on these kind of games with me, and I'm so glad he did, because before that I had not that similar of an experience, but my friends would always be like, all right, you know, we're gonna make a game in 2 weeks, we're gonna do this and this and this. I'm like, that is like a fucking 4-month thing. That's not like a 3-week thing, what you're describing. But it's nice now that I have my brother there to like help me push back on that, because otherwise they'd be like, oh, it's fine, you'll get it done. Like, but my brother won't take the shit. He'll be like, no, that's like too much. All right.
I'll catch you tomorrow.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
Good work. Looking good so
well
far.
earned rest. Yeah. I think I'll wrap it up soon. So.
Right on, right on.